Okay, you normally start this, so you go.
I do?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Oh, you clapped in the middle of what I was saying.
Okay.
You have now joined the It Couple Podcast Show. Let me introduce our hosts, Laura and Xavier.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura.
And this is Xavier.
And we're the It Couple. Hey, Hal, thank you for coming back for another episode. And today we are going to talk about...
I don't even know what we're talking about, so she just changed it at the last minute.
I know, I did. The last second, I decided we're going to talk about getting your accounts hacked. Because we recently had experience with that.
Yeah, that was interesting. That would be a good topic to talk about. Yeah. We have a lot of security measures as you have many different accounts. So but each one is so different from each other. It's hard to get an idea of what as a basic idea of what you should do now in 2019 of how to kind of just to protect yourself. I think This is also another recording where we have actually gotten to the topic faster than we've ever done before. So I think, a little small applause to both of us.
Yay. But yeah, so, I guess we can talk about some of the things that we do. But no matter what, if you're on the internet, it's probably going to happen.
It's true. And it's already probably happened to you in many different ways.
Well, I certainly have experienced it a couple times. Like the last time that Facebook had that huge one, mine was part of it. And I had to change it and go through and follow the steps because they sent out this huge article, and stuff. And so, yeah.
And you know what? There was the big one with the banks, which I'm pretty sure around that time, a lot of people were really glued in because that's really close to your money. For people who are in the gaming world, and they definitely remember what happened with the PlayStation and Xbox at the time. This shows how much I'm just not a gamer as I used to be back in the day. But yeah. So, what we're probably going to cover, I'm guessing, is just like the baseline of how we're going to go. But then again, I just found out about the topic. So is that where we're going? Can you confirm?
Sure. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. As long as it's somewhere around the target,
Exactly. Well,
on the board.
We can give them the story about
Doesn't need to be a bullseye.
Of what happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. So, we were sitting down, one of these nights this week, I don't know. And then, I got a notification. I got a new email and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, it's from Domino's. Like, oh, okay. I guess they're sending promotion or whatever. But then it's like, oh, your pizza order is on the way or something. I'm like, my what? I didn't order any pizza.
And I'm doing something on the computer just randomly. Like, did you order pizza? Like, No, yeah. So I was like, okay, so I didn't click on the email because at first I wasn't entirely sure if it was actually from Domino's. I thought like, okay, well, maybe it's like one of those emails that looks like it's from a specific company to get you to click on the link. Yeah, the phishing emails.
Yeah. Like so I was like, all right, I'm not going to click on a link. I'm going to go to my actual Domino's account and sign in and see, if this is legit. And yeah, sure enough, it was legit. Somebody ordered a pizza from New York on our account. And I was like, holy shit, what do I do?
The funny thing is we had their address and we still have their address.
And we have their address, their phone number, and like, should we go put this somewhere? So yeah, I've never really had that problem before. Certainly, not one where they I'm one of those people that I check my banking account like constantly.
To the point where it becomes a problem when it's time to give her gifts for her holidays or something like that. And it adds an extra level of challenge. But okay, sticking to the topic, it is a good idea to stick close to where when your money's coming in or out.
Back in the day, I remember watching my mom balance her checkbook, and I would help her balance the checkbook because I thought it was the funnest thing in the world as a kid. But we don't do that anymore because we hardly ever really write actual checks anymore. But it still is very important, even if you're not necessarily balancing it, but looking at your account and being like, hey, yeah, no, I did get that. And yes, I got that. And, my husband got that or my wife got this or whatever. You really need to know that because credit cards get, taken all the time, and it's a very common problem. I mean, many times we've had credit cards just all of a sudden, like the bank is like, oh, hey, we're sending this to you because it looks like maybe your account was part of one of the ones that, like, the credit card info might have gotten out. Like, oh, okay. But I've never actually, like, had any that were not us, that weren't legit. And this one wasn't our credit card that had been stolen. It actually was that our account got, hacked into, or,
Which, in a way, I feel better about that situation. Yes, they got into our account deep enough to where they can order a pizza automatically. But our fingers can definitely point more towards, the account holder. I mean, not the holder, the account owner, the business itself. Which one was that? It was a Pizza Hut, right?
It was Domino's.
Domino's. So we can point at Domino's and like, hey, why is it so easy that people who can get in their account,
whether they got our password from somewhere.
Exactly.
Because that does happen, where they can get the passwords and then they sell the password to the highest bidder, and then they go in and, do that. So I then had to go through and, like, change any password that might have used that one. And so that was fun, because, I mean, we all reuse them, even though we're not supposed to reuse them. Oh,
You're humans. We're humans, not robots. And I've as I've given so many other people when it comes, because it's a very often asked question from other people about, like, how do I protect myself or this or that? It's like, at a certain level, you got to figure you're a human being. You're gonna repeat passwords. Best practice is to do the best you can.
Yeah. No, I mean, certainly you want to do everything you possibly can do to have it. But at the same time, eventually it's probably going to happen to you. So be prepared for that, too.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of, like, even though I'd never had this happen before, I kind of had all right, well, first things first, I'm going to call the bank, I'm going to call my bank and be like, hey, bank, this happened, so they started that process. Then the next step was me trying to find how to contact Domino's. I could find their locations and stuff, and those numbers, which I did call the location that got the pizza order in. But by the time I called them, the pizza was there and, it was too late. And I mean, it's like one of those things, too. You're supposed to freaking check to make sure that they have the card. Check. Because if you had checked, you would have known these people didn't have our card.
The funny thing, here's something I remember from using our own banking. I remember our bank, like, having this situation of thinking it wasn't me when I was going to a different gas station. Mm-hmm. Still in the area.
Oh, yeah, I've had that happen before me, too.
Not far from home or anything like that. Yeah. Like, oh, well, that when I saw that, like, oh, they gave me a little confidence that, hey, this is being taken care of. So, as they see someone over in New York freaking ordering a pizza, they'll be like, hey, did you just go to New York? Or
yeah, when we had no other, debits for, I mean, come on, if we had gone to New York, there would have been other charges.
Yeah, or there's been a history of us going back and forth to New York. Now, granted, maybe that people find it very annoying if they're ordering pizza and then have to, like, every time they move, have to tell the bank, yes, I'm here. But,
well, it's like actually even, when like I traveled to Canada last year, I called my bank and was like, hey, I'm going to Canada, because I wanted them to know that, yes, any charges coming out of there were me, it's okay.
And I even know in situations where people have done that and they have still called. And, it's just like, it comes to a situation where, like, who dropped the ball? Did Domino's Pizza drop the ball with their account? Yes, they did. Or did the bank drop the ball, if not, I guess, reviewing information or having systems in place to review that information? Don't know really who at the level that they are working with each other. But yes, definitely somebody dropped something.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. The other problem, too, that I found, too, is, like, I was trying to find a customer service, like, full on number for Domino's. I sent an email, but I kept hunting for a number. And
this isn't straightforward at all.
Yeah, I finally found it, but it was in a completely different site. Like, they didn't make that easy at all to find, and a lot of businesses are like that, too. I mean, like, I know Amazon is notorious for it, where you just can't find the number to call them, but finally I found a number and I was like, hey, this happened. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll check into it. We'll make sure to put it in our thing. And if you contact your bank and stuff like that, we'll have a record of it, and I'm like, yep, already contacted my bank. Thank you. I actually have a number for them. I can find it, so yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So the end of the story, they got some pizza from us. They did. Do their usual things.
I was also worried. I was watching it for days because it was processing and all that, and I was watching it going please just don't put some really huge tip or something on there. Because at that point it was only $20 some for pizza. I'm okay with that. Hundreds of dollars for a tip. Who the hell in their right mind would be let's do that?
Because technically, here's the scare. They could have ordered $700 worth of pizza.
Yeah.
Which, I would hope the bank would go in there do they really normally eat $700 worth of pizza? It seems a bit of an odd order, from them. And we may really like pizza, but this is Domino's Pizza. $700 of pizza is quite a bit.
And not even in the state or that they're in and far away.
Exactly. Expensive plane tickets, $700 worth of pizza. These guys just must have hit a lottery or something like that. Anyway, it's totally ridiculous. It's that can happen.
But thankfully, they didn't do anything crazy like that. So I have to be thankful for that. But it's one of those things seriously, this is not your account. You're ordering $20 some worth of pizza on somebody else's account, somebody else's card. And
this Joker must have done this before.
Oh, probably.
Which I'm not sure with other people who maybe are not as tech savvy. And here's one thing, I think I was telling someone else about this at work. And the first thing is oh, that's why you always do this and always do this. And none of that really helps you, because at the end of the day, when you sign up for an account or a different service, you're signing up for whatever, actions that they have set up in place and safety guards that they set up in place for your account. So there's not much you can do about that. Hey, you guys don't want to,
Yeah, I'm telling you, I removed our credit card from there. It's no longer on there. So, somebody tries to get into our account and order, there isn't one there.
Yeah, and it's not really that much of a downer. We're not sponsored by Domino's Pizza. I don't see us being sponsored by Domino's Pizza.
I don't hate, I'll use them again and stuff like that. That's not the problem. The thing is, it's just, it's one of those aspects of being on the internet that sucks,
Yeah, exactly.
And we have to try to do whatever we can to protect it. And yes, they need to do whatever they can to protect it, because that's ridiculous.
That's why I wanted to go, is this speaking the truth. I feel like there's a big ball that's dropped on their end.
Yeah. How many accounts now where they do the two security thing or whatever, where you have to it gets sent to your phone or another device,
two-factor security, something like that.
Yeah, Domino's doesn't have that. All I do is type in my password and voila, it doesn't even have a username.
Yeah.
It uses my email address as a username, and so it's if I had a unique username, that might actually make it less easy to go get in there, or whatever. But yeah, if you are going to store payment information for people, and their address, and their name, and their phone number, you need to have better security than just type in a password,
Yeah. And I was thinking that
maybe send an email being hey, we're just verifying that this is your info. Because the one thing they can't change on those accounts is the email, because that's what you use to create it with. It's not as easy to change that, which is why I got an email from them.
Actually, is why mini email, doesn't matter who you signed with. Actually, maybe it does matter who you signed with, but most of those platforms, let's say you have a Gmail account, they've added other security measures and probably required you to start putting a two-form factor, putting your cell phone attached to create an account.
Actually, all of my emails addresses, they log into them, are like that. They have a two-factor.
They ask for stronger passwords. Yeah. In order to kind of get through, just to kind of protect you. So I do feel the email side is not where they're going to go. And usually, let's say if you're a hacker, what you're going to go for, because there are, I guess, a lot of people who know what hacking is and about it. The deeper you go, I I would say there's little effort into trying to pick up dollars and pennies, because if you have that much knowledge to really be that deep in the code, you probably have a pretty decent job, and you don't need to steal pizza. So most people are going to go for the lowest level, easiest, lowest resistance possible source. And that's your account information to whatever place you're wanting to go. So if you, you like, I'm just going to throw out weirdpizza.com, and you ordered weirdpizza.com from their website. If they don't have any safety guards on there to detect if someone is, getting in your account falsely, or you can use CAPTCHA or your robot, which has been proven to be broken. But if for the average Joe who can just go in there 5 seconds, just put up account in there, it's gonna get hacked. Had that from Instagram, and that was a very interesting experience, because Instagram did have some kind of safeguard. They didn't get to do much damage. They let me know instantly that someone else was in my account, and this other person was in Russia. And I didn't go to Russia.
I had that happen with my my World of Warcraft account once, where somebody actually stole my account and it was theirs, and it was like, no, that's just not theirs. It's definitely mine.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Trying to get all my characters and stuff back.
I still have accounts that are just gone, and I'm kind of just done with it.
Well, and the thing is, they find other ways than just to steal your account or use your own password or whatever. There's various forms of them on Facebook. One of the huge ones I see constantly is where they tag a number of people, and so this post then shows up onto your news feed and shows to your friends, but you don't see it. If you don't know where to look, you don't necessarily see it. And so I'll see that oh, hey, this person, is the one I see the most is these sunglasses. They're selling these sunglasses. I don't think this person I know would do that. And it's just another form of, hacking an account.
Exactly.
They find a way around it. That's just, it doesn't matter how many securities are out there. They are going to find a way.
Well, here's where
of course, it doesn't necessarily mean we shouldn't try to stop them.
Exactly. Well, here's where I say this. The one thing is that level of security, how easy it is for them to break it. There are best practices that we can do as human beings.
Well, yeah, it's like when robbers go after a car or whatever, they usually go after the ones that are unlocked, not the ones that are locked. It's easier.
Especially nighttime, you're not underneath a spotlight. Yeah, you're no one's gonna, they feel safe. They feel like they go in the car, no one's gonna see them. They can open up the thing and peel off, no one's gonna notice. And if your account, it looks kind of like the easy one to go in there, you have Easy Fish 123 or something like that as your password name, or you've been using it for years, it's eventually going to get caught. Now, I do have a suggestion for people. We use LastPass, not sponsored. I don't know why you need to say that. We have nobody, we don't have a really big viewership on our podcast, but LastPass is what we've used for a long time. And it's been something something I can totally recommend. There are others like LastPass. I encourage you to go on Google and let's put LastPass versus, and there's their competitors. Yeah. There's one really big one, but I really forget their name.
I remember the first time that I heard about LastPass, and I was thinking yeah, okay, I'm not giving you my password information, but eventually I found out that they were legit and good company. And so it's oh, okay.
And they do put safeguards out there. There was a tool on there too.
Yeah, that we found out about. That was pretty cool.
That they can automatically change your password.
Yeah, they find if there's duplicate passwords.
Exactly.
And, things like that.
And give you a ranking of how safe you are, so you know where you currently stand. Because you may not get an A, and you may be that person oh my God, I can't remember any of my stuff, but it is a good source because you can go in there. In a couple seconds, okay, let me just change whatever is using the same thing. I go in there, look, I got 12 different things that's using the same password. If this guy has one, he has all of them. Yeah. So I just got to go through and just, okay, close that down, close that down, close that down, close that down, close it. I mean, not close down, change the password, change the password, change the password. Yep. And then I'm back to being safe and secure again, because if this person does have one of my passwords, he doesn't have the new password. And I could say for a lot of another active measure for a lot of people, let's say you're using something a lot, you've used it a lot for years. If it's been past, I would say 3 years, you're at that line where I think you should probably change your password. And that's something that I need to work on myself.
Yeah.
But for those who are really concerned about their security on the web, their security in general, when it comes to like, using accounts or devices now that you sign in, not just your cell phone, but like your, I don't know, Roku device, your like all Amazon, whatever. There's something to keep yourself secure because each account has information that may lead them to other accounts. But I would definitely be on the side of thinking that the person who's in the account is well knowing you probably use this for other accounts. Mm-hmm. And it's probably not the first time they've done this. And
yeah, no, probably not.
And I would say, like, don't picture like this guy being some expert, hacker with a team of people using like, spy gear or whatever. Like, no, this is some Joe Blow or whatever. Just you sitting there on a laptop in a Starbucks or something like that, or maybe sitting in their own house and, oh, yeah, I can just do this. And then I got the stuff. It's really low effort. The same person that getting your stuff is the same guy who you see every day. They're everyday people. They're no Superman or supervillain or anything like that when it comes to tech. And you can use the same ideas in order to keep yourself safe. Simple as that. If you're the person who changes your passwords once every year, you get a pure A. And if you use a good password, I wouldn't say you can use bad password. If you change it every year, you're in a good standing over a lot of people. Let's say you're a person who uses a super secure, it's a 20-word password for all your stuff, but you've been using it for 5 years. You're worse than the guy who uses "I love cupcakes" as their password. So that's where I would put that on there. You're several levels lower than that person, because the other person has a lot more chances of figuring out where you are on the web, because that 20-word password is probably spread around many different accounts and can come back to you. Oh, well, that was my spiel. I'm sorry I went for so long on that, but it's one I definitely worked with a lot. In the field, it's one you're going to see, and yeah. I'm pretty sure people who are listening to this, if you haven't have your story, it's coming. It's definitely coming. And that's what I will say. Now, when it comes to like your side, when it comes to social media, maybe you can explain like what kind of damage you can see or explain or have heard from other people that they got their accounts hacked. Give us some stories.
I mean, the one of the ones I see happen a lot isn't necessarily, again, the person's account getting hacked, but they take your profile picture, they take your basic info that's available to anybody else, the stuff that's all public, and then they'll create an account that looks exactly like it, and then they'll contact your friends and stuff like that. And anytime I see that, I immediately am like, yeah, no, this is not you. And I will then flag them and let, Amazon, or not Amazon, but Facebook know.
This is a really big problem, like way back when. If you remember our episode for MySpace, I remember someone actually did that tactic for another friend of mine. This other random person, I think we were calling her a girl, but who knows who the heck it was just messaging other people. And this is about 10 so years back, 11 years back. Where this same tactic is occurring. It's just more sophisticated nowadays. Yeah. But yeah, they've still been using the same method. So it's nothing fancy.
So I see that one a lot. The other one that I am I try to be very careful about is, so a lot of photos now, when you take them, they show your location. And then if you upload that to Facebook, it will also show your location. I almost never do that, and I try very, very hard to make sure that none of my pictures, which my Facebook account is private, and it has only my friends, but even that way, my friends and family have their friends and family and their friends and family, so it's never fully secure no matter what. So I don't like people knowing that, like, hey, I go to this place often, and I go to that place often, and, and stuff like that. So I try to always, especially when I take a picture of our daughter, and I don't want them to know where her school is at or, where I live, I mean, like, these are things that
that people can try to go back and dig through and try to find out.
I mean, it is never, no matter how secure they say it is, it's never fully secure. It could always, anything can be hacked by somebody at some point. It's like, it's just the way it works.
Now, let's say like, you're someone out there, you're starting to get some attention. I have a few friends that, they're starting to get popular in what they're doing, and usually involving video games. That's my way of connecting with the world nowadays. But let's say you're getting upwards towards 5,000 friends on Facebook, 10,000 people
depending on
likes.
Okay, if you have a personal account, your max friends is 5,000. You can't have any more than that for a personal account.
Okay.
For a business account, you can have as many as you want. So, but anyhow,
But what's the best practices for you're starting to get some attention? You're starting to become popular. Let's say like you're getting into politics, and now you're putting your information out there at what part of your job. What ways can you keep yourself, publicly out there, yet keep yourself privately safe?
Well, the same things. Make sure that your picture does not have location on it. Make sure that, if you take a picture of yourself, a selfie in front of somewhere, that it is not easily recognizable as to, they go to this place all the time. Don't put like, hey, I just ate breakfast at this place and I go there all the time. Those are the kind of things that are gonna, get you spotted but in the end, in the end, a highly sophisticated person is someone who has the skills and can look and want to find you. In this day and age, it's not that hard. It really isn't. There's many different methods that people can find you. So I tell people all the time, there's no perfect, no secret sauce to the security of the web. I mean, it's like I was even nervous with like doing the podcast and saying like, where we're from and, and things like that, but I mean, even with like, if your name is a common name, I mean, they could go or not a common name, they could go type that in and they could just pay $5-10 or whatever to get a bunch of your information that is just there, and they do that and, they have a lot of info. So I feel like, okay, so if you are for sure, going that route, starting as early as possible with a P.O. box is probably your best way to do it. Don't put any other address other than your P.O. box.
I have seen people actually like go in there and they start kind of putting their private stuff out there. I would say one thing is something very easy to invest into, and that's just a private domain name. Now, the sad thing is, when I say private domain name, anybody who's not a techie head just goes, what are you talking about? What do you mean private domain name? But a lot of people send their stuff, the information from their private accounts, your Gmail, your Outlook, your Yahoo Mail, and whatever else that people have been using. And one thing I would like to point people towards getting their own private domain name, like we have our own private domain name at admin@itcouplepodcast.com. That's shameless plug there. But is that one? It's not going towards you. That's usually like your business, your personal stuff out there. Let's say if you're talking to your vet for your animals or pets or stuff like that, that doesn't need to go out into the public. That's none of their business. Use your Gmail. You're trying to reach out to, let's say, your fans or your coworkers or colleagues.
Yeah, having so many different emails. I have like 10 of them.
You're going to collect email. I don't think we can avoid it nowadays. Email used to be this thing where it was like your text messaging, your weird messenger, your Discord. But today it's very much you have a personal email. You may have several personal emails, and then you have your main business one. Like this is the one I'm strictly in for this one thing. Your business face. That's your suit email. Yeah. And that's what your domain name is for. So if you're going out there to the public, this is the official line. This is the one that you can have other people look through and comb through as well. It's made for just this reason. And if someone's trying to come after you, they're not going to use this email because they know that this is formatted in a way to be structured for business and not your personal, your life. Okay. So how long have we been going on this topic? I think it feels like we've kind of touched a lot of areas.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've I think touched on, most of it. I mean, obviously there's always more info out there and more ways, but I mean, it was good.
Yeah. Good way to make good practice on it. Again, that site, I would say a first step for most people, I would say get yourself in the password manager. We're all humans. We're all going to forget whatever password. We're going to have multiple different passwords. I think most people have at least like 10 passwords that they kind of go back and forth.
Google has their own where you can click save it.
I have my gripes with that just because most people don't sign into their Google account. So most people don't even see that feature or even know it exists. You can sign into your Google, but if that's too difficult, it's not designed to be a password manager. And there's also a problem if I get your laptop, I can also get into your accounts. If you lose your laptop and if you have auto sign in, especially for Chrome and stuff like that, then yeah, I can get into your accounts. No problem. And I've seen that happen just as I've purchased laptops. I think we purchased one from a pawn shop way back when, and there's all this person's information, credit card too. We didn't do anything with it, because I think
I think that's why we probably have every single phone and laptop we've ever bought still with us.
yeah. There is that fear. I mean, I know we can get rid of it, but I think in a way it's in the back of your mind. So you just, it's something that you just can't get over. I think that's what it is. It's just this weird thing you can't get over, even if you do have all the knowledge of this is how you do it. But what if, so you just, you don't worry about it. You can take the hard drive out, destroy it and all that stuff. But who knows? Maybe you need that hard drive again. Or maybe you can do this thing or whatever, but maybe you need that. But, anyway, I'm rambling on. We're pretty much at the end of the show. I do want to give some updates. We are trying to, I guess, not change things up. I think we want to polish the It Couple a little bit more. So we may be seeing some changes in the next coming months.
I'm sure you're going to be seeing lots of changes because as a new anything, you're constantly striving to improve, to make better, to, more focused or, whatever.
Yeah. Eventually we will be going off and I guess to maybe the video realm, start going into a YouTube territory and stuff that.
Yeah, we have our podcasts up on YouTube, but pretty much all they are is just the still shot and
exactly. It's not really
meant for YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And most people, you'd have to use their YouTube Premium program. And this is where it really hurts podcasts in general. If you have a YouTube Premium, then what you can do, and I think it's very silly because YouTube used to allow this, is you can put the screen to blank, and then put it back in your pocket. And if you're just listening to something, just have your headphones in and listen while YouTube's going. You can't do that unless you have YouTube Premium.
Huh.
So as a podcast, it makes sense that they're not going to sit there and waste their screen time, their screen real estate of just kind of leaving us up, especially on their phone, which is where we get most of our listens. And then if you're at home, you're probably going to choose a visual media if you're going to be looking at your TV or your this or that. So that makes sense. So I don't look at it as a bad thing. But if that's the case, then, maybe for those other channels and those other venues, we should put a visual media out there.
Mm-hmm.
Takes more work from us, yep. But we are thinking about it, and along with other structures too. We want to we love what we have been able to do and what we want to continue to do. And I'm actually surprised that we've been continuing to doing as long as we have. And that's pretty much it.
Yep.
What would you like to see the It Couple do, let's say in the next 6 months, babe? Oh, you weren't expecting a question now, were you?
No. I don't like questions.
Yeah, you're
on the spot, forget it. No.
6 months. What is something that you would expect to see?
Oh God, I don't know. Could I make a cent?
You make a cent? You want to make a penny or two?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right. Hopefully, within the next 6 months, a couple can make a penny or two out of this this endeavor.
I'm not asking for much.
I would love to also make a cent too. I think we all want to make money. But I don't know. I kind of do want to like actually get like a nice clean format and see where we can put some effort out there and see if we can get some people reaching back to us. So, we put something out interesting that people really like and really want to hear more from. And we can kind of target on that. I think in a way we are very random. And the reason for our randomness is we're trying to touch on everything to find out, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like this? So, and we get some, a few hints. We know that people like tech.
We're also random people.
We're very random. But we do know that some people like tech. One of our most popular podcasts is definitely on the tech subject, stuff like that. And some of us, we were trying to skew ourselves that way, but we're going to keep mixing it up. Until then, we're going ahead and wrap this up because I've been talking for too long. Thank you for listening, and until next time, take it easy.
You're not the only one who's talking. See ya!